What a frickin' tone. That was delicious. What's up, everybody? Mark with Part of Vox Academy here, and today we're checking out Arch Enemy, The Watcher. It's going to be a lot of fun because I didn't realize this until recently, but we've never talked about Arch Enemy on the channel. And that's a little bit of a mistake because Arch Enemy has been a metal staple for many, many years. Now, of course, Arch Enemy has had multiple vocalists. There was Angela Gassau, I think is her name. Then we've got Alissa White-Gluz, who's the current vocalist, and then their verse vocalist, I don't remember his name. So they've had some eras, and it's interesting to listen to and to talk about. Now, if you're new to the channel, again, my name is Mark. I am a metal vocalist myself. I'm in a band called Kardashev. I've been doing metal vocals for 13, 14 years. I kind of forget when exactly I started. And then I also am a metal vocal coach. I specifically, I would say 90% focus on teaching people all sorts of like gurgly types of sounds, how to do that safely and effectively for years and years. But what we do here is we take the reaction format, break it down, pause, have fun, talk about vocals. So I'll tell you what they're doing, or if I'm, not quite sure because there are a lot of effects or layers or something, I'll give you my best guess. Sometimes they're doing things in a way that I don't love. So I'll talk to you about how you could do it maybe a little bit more safely or efficiently. But yeah, if you like the content, like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on Patreon if you really love it. Our Discord community is really active. We have a listening party coming up in 44 minutes. So I got some work to do. I got this and one more video to do. So let's go ahead and let's save some time here. Let's check out Arch Enemy, The Watcher. Here we go. Okay, let's go ahead and stop there. We're almost a minute in. That's a cool screenshot. But okay, first and foremost, this is definitely an Arch Enemy song. Very, very, very iconic. Has a lot of the sounds that we associate with them, the fast sort of galloping riffs, things like that. But I want to talk about her because this is mostly a vocal channel. So I love her tone. It is very even. It is very consistent. And it is not overbearing at any point. She really has a lot of great depth of sound. And the way that she's doing that is with the shape of her vocal tract. Oftentimes, as vocalists, we underestimate the shape of the vocal tract, and especially in the metal vocal world, we talk a lot about the tone, right? So we talk a lot about how to get like that sound going or like that sound going. But the fact of the matter is that if our vocal tract is not in the right shape, things don't sound proper, or things don't sound right because they're not going to be bouncing around in the way that we want. There's a really cool video. I'll link it in the description below. Got to remember to do that. That shows that if somebody cut our head off right above the vocal folds, and somehow we survived and our vocal folds were vibrating, right? Nobody's head gets cut off in the video. There's a little device that simulates vocal cords. Our voice actually sounds like this. Like that's a pretty close example of what it sounds like. And they have these molds of vocal tracts and they put them on and it like transforms and it sounds exactly like a human voice because vocal tract is so important. The shape that she's using here, we'll continue listening because I haven't listened to Arch Enemy in a while, so I'm kind of having to refamiliarize myself with it. But she's got a lot of so she's got a lot of open space in the pharynx, but her mouth is sort of small in the front. On a lot of her vowels, keeping things sort of in the front. Right there like that. And you can hear that I get a lot of open space. So now, if I do one of the vocals that I do, I'm kind of in a different world of metal vocals than she is. But if I would do one of my vocals and I have that space, you can hear how it gives me a lot of depth. Open the back, lift the soft palate, open up the pharynx, relax the back of the tongue, bring the tongue slightly forward. And you got a lot of frontal resonance. Let's keep going though. frickin' tone. That was delicious. So one thing, that was like, that was good. I hope she does that again, because that was a great fry tone. So one of the things I really like about her vocals is that, you know, obviously we are not listening to deathcore here. We're not listening to like a lot of the more like vocally I'm trying to think of how to say this. This genre of metal is not about fitting a new technique into every 5 seconds of music. And so what that means is that as a vocalist, she is focused a lot more. Now, I shouldn't say what her focus is, so I'm not like saying I understand her brain, but from the sound of it, she is focused a lot more on driving the music as a part of the song versus, let's be honest, we've all heard it before. The guitars are just kind of going like this, doo, 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 and somebody's just like, and nobody really can tell what the fuck's going on. Listen, I love deathcore, but sometimes it has a problem with that. Great genre, but sometimes it has a problem with that. Whereas here, everything's working as a very cohesive whole, right? Now, she adds nuance to this by tossing her like she said the word watcher, and she's like, you know, wah, wah, wah. She's tossing that sound upwards. So she's moving a lot from in various resonance placements, and she's snapping to them very accurately. So sometimes people who are very into like extremely shreddy vocalists will hear songs like this and think they're a little too simple, but I challenge you to think about the way that resonance, tonality, and timbre are adding nuance to the voice here. Now, we talked about that fry tone. Anybody who knows me and has listened to my music knows that I don't do a lot of fry vocals myself. Never like super been my thing, but I teach a lot of people fry vocals and they all do great. But it's never really a sound that I use. However, let's talk about maybe we'll talk more about what fry actually is later on in the video. But let's talk about a good exercise to kind of get started. So if you're wanting to start playing around with the fry tone, now I want to say a couple of things. Fry is kind of a weird thing to learn, and for a lot of people, it's kind of tricky. The reason for this is that unlike a false chord where we go like this, and that's really close to what a final false chord vocal sounds like until you start adding some bells and whistles. A projected fry doesn't really feel like your fry tone at all. And that's because we're taking our fry tone, right, which is a behavior of the vocal folds. The vocal folds are together, but they have a longer open phase, right? So rather than they're opening more. And we're placing that in a higher space. It's good to think of this as a head voice sound. Ha, 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 being right there. So one thing when I'm like working with students on fry vocals is we'll start just down here and I make it very clear to them, this is not the sound that you will be using, but it shows you the behavior of the vocal folds, right? Also, I will say this as well. There's a lot of great information out there about fry vocals. You should look at multiple sources, but as with anything, the word gets used differently by different people. So sometimes you might see somebody who's more of like a rock singer, or a like even like a contemporary singer using fry to mean something different. So my terminology may differ slightly from some other people. Doesn't mean that one of us is smarter or better than the other. It's just, you know, you go to the you go to the UK and the boot means a part of the car, where over here it's only a shoe, right? It's this kind of differences in terminology. But one thing we can do is we can take this and we can kind of make like a whiny little baby noise. Nah, nah, nah. And there's a little bit of fry just starting there. You can hear it. I'm not actually trying to put that on. I'm just allowing that to exist. Nah, nah. Now, if I accentuate that, if I allow that to exist, right, and I'm going to be utilizing my stomach muscles, I'm going to be squeezing in slightly, not too hard. We don't want to put a lot of pressure underneath the vocal folds. It's going to sound like this. I'm going to start letting that fry exist. I'm going to start finding where it sits. I'm going to start playing with it. Ma, 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 whoa, whoa, ma. And that's a good starting sound. It's not a full fry scream yet. You're not done, right? But getting comfortable with just that like ma, ma, ma sound is a good place to start. And it may take you a long time. one thing I've noticed from teaching vocals and from just knowing a lot of vocalists is that there are, of course, people who just get fry screams like boom. It's weird. It's not the norm. A lot of people, fry screams are kind of difficult for them because we're using our vocal cords in a new way, and the vocal balance, utilizing those muscles, is different, right? We've got all sorts of muscles: the thyroarytenoid, the cricothyroid, the transverse. What's it called? Transverse arytenoid. I think I'm getting that one wrong. Slightly wrong, but all these muscles that are involved in the lengthening, the shortening, the medial compression, I'm getting off track. They're new muscles to use, whereas this, we're just grunting, right? So something to keep in mind, you may have to just sort of sit in that pocket of a beginner sound for a while, and if so, that's okay. That's all right. Let's keep going though, because we're only a minute and 24 into the second. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm long-winded. Let's go. Wow, what a tempo change. Okay, we're gonna go back and listen to that again, but I want to talk a little bit about her low vocals. So another thing that sometimes is very important to talk about with metal vocals. Now, I'm just going based on my ear. And one video I remember seeing like 5 years ago where she taught like some random person how to scream. I think it was like, I don't remember. It was a TV show, and she was like, "What do you want to do when you scream?" And the girl's like, "I don't know." And so she gave her like a little lesson, like in her bedroom. But anyways, one thing that's important to know is that not everything is strictly a fry scream or strictly a false chord scream. There is a lot that is things mixed together, right? So, for example, if I do like a false chord growl here, and then I constrict it a little bit safely, and this is not a beginning sound. Do you hear that? It's still got that rattliness of the false chord. If I bring the vocal folds, and again, this is not where new vocalists should start. If I add a little bit of engagement, I can bring in some fry sound as well. Right? So it's a combination of things. To me, that's kind of what I'm hearing. Now, if I listen to 5 more Arch Enemy songs, I may disagree with myself. My opinion does sometimes change when I'm presented with new data. But the thing about it is I'm hearing kind of a little bit of a mixture when she's hitting those really low spaces. Now, sometimes there's this idea that fry is high and false chord is low, and it's not really as simple as that. But I'm hearing like a lot of I sound much more deathcore and death metal than she does. Maybe there's a little bit more airflow in there. I don't know. Maybe something like that. I don't know. It's interesting. But let me also, this video just looks good. Oftentimes live videos are a bit of a snooze fest for me. Don't tell anyone I said that. If it's not like their actual vocal performance that's being recorded. But this one is really cool. The shots, the color, everything's super clear. This and a couple Gojira live videos are just like mint. Here we go. you can hear her just tossing on the word death, right? I want to go back a little bit because she does like this, and then again, I'm a sludgy death metal Satan's toilet bowl vocalist, but she's down here, and then she like she tosses it up. Again, I sound different than she does, but it sounds cool. Sounds real cool. That was sick. That was sick. Okay. All right. I get it. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was cool. I let the video play a lot longer than I normally do. Yeah, that was really cool. You know, it's been a long time since I listened to Arch Enemy, and she's good. I mean, I knew that, of course, but she's very good. Great tone, great airflow. I mean, in that video, she's not even breaking a sweat. She's not freaking trying, right? I mean, of course, she's trying, but yeah, because there's a lot of effort and professionalism in her voice. But goodness, yeah, I kind of forgot about this band, however that sounds. But good stuff all around. Even airflow is going to be key. You know, we'll have to kind of cut it here, but if you're looking to be a metal vocalist, really any type of vocalist, but a metal vocalist, like, you're gonna have to understand airflow. You're gonna have to understand how air works, not just how to breathe in and out, right? Because that's part of it. That's part of it, of course. Take the air in, hold the ribs out, squeeze the abdominals, open the throat, relax it, you know, all of this. But understanding, especially with metal vocals, because we are disturbing the airflow. A lot of times, even with fry screams, we're letting those supraglottal tissues rattle. And so we're disturbing the airflow. And the way the turbulence of air in your vocal tract is a big deal, right? It really affects a lot of things. So understanding that is going to be really important. Yeah, great stuff. Super good stuff. It's kind of all I have to say about it for now. But the other day I listened to like the other day, it took me like a week. I listened to every Cattle Decap album, start to finish. Maybe I'll do that with Arch Enemy. I don't know. Maybe not. Who's to say? I am a capricious beast. But beyond that, thank you all for watching. Really nice to get kind of a change here on the channel. And many thanks. Much love. I'm out.